Jeez Louise, I am so sorry. I really accidentally took a sabbatical from this podcast. I was going to take 2 weeks off, and then I got sick. And then my ear was clogged. I was getting vertigo. And then what they say is true. You know, a body in motion stays in motion. And a body in rest stays in rest is what they fucking say. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're back. And I'm so happy to be back here. I have so many silly guests lined up. And I just cannot wait to get their story. But I thought, what better way to jump back in than to interview my best friend? He has held my pinky through most of my 20s. And my 20s were... they were something. You know, I just turned 29, and I will say this is probably the best I've felt in a long time. And he has really played a big role in that. So, not to get too sappy, but I am so excited for you guys to get to know him. You know, we talk about the biggest fight we ever had, which we candidly thought we weren't going to come back from. And we just get to know his story a little bit. He just makes me giggle so dang hard. So I'm so excited for you guys to get to know my BFF, Jake. But, you know, I got to call out my sweet baby Leisure for sponsoring this podcast. You know the vibes. It keeps you wet in all the best ways. No bubbles, just vibes is their slogan. So you know white people definitely made this. Whew. Anyway, code EPETROS10 for 10% off. And just go stay hydrated. Welcome back to Emily Talks Too. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Zip.
Zap.
Zop.
Zip.
Zap.
Zop.
Zip.
Zip. Fuck. Mm-hmm.
Just a little improv for you. Okay, I'm just going to...
Go in for the kill.
For the kill. With my guest's stats.
Yes.
He's from Florida. He's 6'1". Some may say he's 97 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot for the life of me remember where you went to college. It's some very unclear school in New York. Marymount?
Marymount. Which on the streets we call it Fairymount because it was so gay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's gay.
Shocker, you hear the voice. Hate comments incoming.
Yeah.
I've thought about the hate comments that I'm going to see on TikTok about the voice. And okay.
Lean in.
Lean in.
You have a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Which when you were a kid, your parents' friends, when you would answer the call, they thought you were your mom.
Yes. And I should talk about when I first got my license and went to KFC.
Okay, well, let's just start. We have Jake Skolnick with me.
Hi.
Jake is my husband, my best friend, my wife, my therapist, my blood, my mitochondria.
I don't know what that is, but yeah.
Who does?
Who does?
So
failed science.
we're just going to zip zaps off through this whole episode.
Yes.
We're going to get to the KFC in a minute because I actually don't know if I know that story.
Okay, you definitely do, but I don't think you knew it was KFC, and I can't believe that I'm about to share it to the world.
No, we're gonna pop off.
Yeah.
So Jake and I met back in 2018.
Yep.
When we famously worked at an MLM.
Yes, and I had just moved from New York.
Right.
Yeah.
All around bad vibes.
Terrible vibes.
Terrible vibes. A lot of women wearing, what would you say, like a penny loafer and a fur. That sounds actually not that bad.
I would say women were still wearing the sneaker wedges.
Yeah.
And they were still wearing the sneaker wedges.
Yep. Yep.
Enough said.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A lot of like Jacqueline's and like
Danielle's. And Jessica.
Yep.
And stuff
White.
like that.
Very
Yeah.
white. Anyway, I think through the darkness of that whole part of our lives, we found each other.
Correct.
And it was instant love.
Yes. It really, really was. And our first date, do you remember our first date through work where we went to
No.
for lunch? Or I actually think you were the first person to teach me about Erewhon.
Wow.
I had no clue what it was.
I don't want people to know that.
Oh,
That's so telling about me.
yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
Wait,
you
what did
brought
we
it-
do?
Maybe it wasn't actually our first date, but I remember you and Alex Crone, shout out Alex, talking about Erewhon. And then I know I went there, and it was either with you. No, it was me, Alex, and Shannon. Shout out Shannon. And I had my first.
The girlies.
Yeah, I had my first Erewhon experience in Santa Monica, but I learned about it through you. So that wasn't our first
Wow.
date. Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of romantic.
Yeah.
Well, so then I think where our friendship really went to the next level
Yes.
was when we did Improv 101.
Improv 101.
And for those who don't know what Improv 101 is, it is, some may say, where dreams go to die and where dreams go to thrive.
Shout out UCB.
UCB, which is, I think, no longer, I think where we went, it's no longer there.
Yeah, it's like
I think there's only one location.
Yeah.
Anyway, we would show up for, what was it, 3 or 4 hours on a Saturday,
Saturday.
in a 100 square foot room, if
Yes.
that,
Yeah.
with no windows,
None.
with a, albeit very kind instructor. How would you describe him? Like a Disney adult,
Very sweet.
very sweet,
Didn't want to ruffle any feathers.
could not
Played
accept
it
his
safe.
sexuality,
Yes, and loved cartoons.
loved a cartoon.
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch to
Lilo
be
and Stitch.
precise.
Yeah.
So Jake and I did improv together, and I want to share a story.
Is the one I'm thinking about?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think it was at this point where we knew we were going to be locked in for life.
Yeah.
It's the second day of improv, okay? It's like a group of maybe, 20, if that, 14 to 20 people?
On maybe 14 on a good day.
On a good day. Okay.
Yeah.
It's intimate. There is a woman who just happens to be in a wheelchair.
Yes.
Her whole shtick in improv was to make everything sexual.
Yes.
Like, that was her way to be funny, which, you know what? Pop off.
Slay.
Do your thing.
Love. Yeah.
So, mind you, this is our second class. We are all strangers, except for Jakey Poo and myself. This woman goes up to do a scene with this other gentleman.
Yes, she does.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're doing a scene about how I think they're like fishing. They're on a dock. And all of a sudden, they're fighting. They're a married couple. They're so angry. And she goes, well, the sex is so bad. Like, we need to work on that. And he goes, to this day, it sends a chill down my spine. Second class. Okay. He goes, couldn't have been that bad if I put you in that wheelchair.
Yikes. It wasn't good.
It wasn't. First of all, what is it? First rule of improv? Yes, and. Second
Yes.
rule of improv. You don't talk about
You don't.
their real person.
Yeah. No.
I think we almost left in that moment.
I recall grabbing your thigh or knee in that zone.
Yeah.
And kind of, I think you were eating too.
I was going to say I was probably eating a peanut
You
butter
were
and jelly
eating.
sandwich.
And I think we just went silent, and like we actually didn't breathe for like
The
10
oxygen
minutes.
was sucked
It was
out
awful.
of the room.
It was terrible.
And this poor instructor was like trying to be constructive.
yeah.
I'm honestly shocked we went back.
Yeah. And I'm actually honestly shocked that we graduated.
Well, I got an A, obviously.
And I got a B
Yeah.
plus.
No, that was a real bonding experience. When we did our performance, I think a total of 4 people showed up, 2 which were my parents and 2 which were your friends.
Yeah, I would say in total about 10.
Yeah.
And to give context, I was so nervous beforehand. I drank like a quarter of a bottle of wine
Sure.
and took a quarter of a Klonopin to go on stage.
Now, some of you may think a quarter of a Klonopin, like, whatever.
I'm
Jake's
prescribed the
Klonopin,
highest dosage
It's kind of a different ball game.
to fly.
Yep.
For context, it's for flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And improv.
And now improv.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait. You know what that reminds me of?
What?
You know what I learned today? Honestly, this may be really old information. I'm just the last person to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know the joke, why did the chicken cross the road?
Yes.
What's the answer?
To get to the other side.
It's a joke about suicide. The
Says
chicken's
who?
going to the other side, like heaven. It's like a double entendre. Is that the right phrase? How dark is that?
I don't know what. I don't know. That's weird, but like,
It's kind of dark.
what's the origin?
I don't fucking know. 17 BC.
I need to think about all of that.
Yeah, they're building the pyramids.
I don't even. Yeah, sure.
That's such a dad joke.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Uh-huh.
I would never say it,
Yeah.
but
Okay, people are talking outside. Okay,
Love.
I want to
Shout
do Kill Fuck Mary.
yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Meredith Marks,
Mm-hmm.
Dorit Kemsley,
Okay.
Tinsley Mortimer.
I've played this game so much, and I will have to say that is the hardest kill fuck Mary. This is the hardest kill fuck Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Kill Tinsley Mortimer.
Tough.
Mm-hmm. Fuck Dorit Kemsley and marry Mother Meredith Marks.
Yeah, why do you think she has such an impression? Like, what is it about her that really... For those of you that don't know, Meredith Marks is a cast member on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
These are all housewives.
These are all housewives. Jake has... is an obsession maybe too far?
I was there for Halloween.
With this cast member. And she... How would you do her voice? The rumors and the...
Yeah. You want to talk about the husband? You want me to talk about the husband?
She kind of sounds like she's constantly sedated, which honestly, I'm jealous.
Jealous? Yeah.
You met her though, right?
No, I'm dying to. I've seen her in person. I went to like a talk back panel with her. And I feel like I'm like almost there to meet her. It just hasn't happened yet.
It's so funny. I feel like we're performative right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, we are.
We're
performing for
the girls and the gays and the theys.
the girls, the gays, and the theys.
Okay, this or that. Standing up or sitting down when you pee?
Sitting down.
Uppers or downers?
Uppers.
Water or vape when you first wake?
Vape.
Jake?
Also, I'm trying to quit, Mom. I know you're listening. Shout out Tammy.
Okay. Jake is a vapor. Is that the right word? He's a vaping connoisseur.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you don't do any of those like insane. You don't do like creme brulee. You do like unflavored or mint. That being said, upon rising, like coming back from Sleepy Village,
Yes.
eyes are opening. One
Yeah.
would think, okay, sip of water. Let's hydrate the body.
Yeah.
Jake will hit the vape, dry mouth, dry soul,
Oh my God.
dry puss.
Yeah.
Like right when you wake up, which is honestly, it's kind of hardcore.
It's punk.
It's punk.
I would say it's kind of punk. Mm-hmm. It's not my proudest thing, but we all have our vices sometimes, and it's something I'm actively trying to quit. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah. You know, like I was lost and I found it, you know?
It keeps finding you. I feel like I feel like you have this moment.
I will say I have moments with it and then I don't. Typically the moments last a very long time. The moments last a very short time.
Sure.
But I just want to let my friends and not my friends. I want to let my family know who's all listening.
Mommy
back in
and
Florida,
Daddy.
shout out. Mm-hmm. And I'm also doing shout out because of Jeff Lewis, and I know my mom's gonna love me doing shout out. Shout out to the family in Florida. Shout out to my family in New York. Shout out because I know they're gonna listen and see the clips on my Insta. I am actively trying to quit and don't talk about it with others. So just like stop. But love.
Do you think you'll quit?
Yes, of course. Yes. I don't like it. And to be honest, like I used to be a really huge cardio bunny. And like
Nope.
I famously used to work at SoulCycle for many years before it became what it is today. And I was
Is that the
really
time where the pedal broke?
we can talk about when the pedal broke. It's so embarrassing. We'll get to that in a second, but I just want to say I used to be really great at cardio and I'm not anymore because A, I just don't do it as much anymore, and B, I'm now rambling.
Well, because of the
vape.
Vaporoo.
Yeah. So,
Can I ask you, though?
yeah.
When you first met me, what did you think? Like, what were your preconceived notions?
I thought you were a Trump supporter.
Dad!
But just because of just because of our surroundings and who he worked with.
Anything
and I was
else?
like so caught off guard by everything that was going on at our place of work. And like I was such in culture shock of like living in Marina Del Rey after moving from Williamsburg and all of that shit that I just thought everyone around me was like a Trump supporter, and I am scared.
Anything else? Did you think I was going to be rude? Did you think anything?
No, I didn't think you were going to be rude. I remember I think the first time I saw you, you were wearing a white t-shirt and like you would wear like black spandex booty shorts or something.
Excuse me?
Or like short shorts.
First of all, I would never wear a booty short in a corporate setting.
Well, you were running errands for your boss. And you were also wearing the Nike Air Max shoes or whatever that I love.
Sure.
Like it was like a casual, like running errands kind of look.
I would literally never wear a booty short. I wore short denim shorts.
Then maybe it was short denim shorts, but I'm picturing black spandex for some reason.
That's a read.
Yeah. I'm probably wrong, but excuse me. Yeah.
We'll cut to now.
Yeah.
So Jake and I have been really through it all.
Yeah.
We have been through the highs, the lows. I have never met someone who has made me laugh as hard as you do.
Same.
But I do want to tell the story of our biggest fight.
Yes. Well, you say our, but there was
a third.
Your sister was involved.
It was 2 against 1.
Shout out Erica. Yeah.
No, it was 2 against 1. I was ganged up on.
I wouldn't say that.
No,
but
I was.
Yeah.
No, I
okay,
was.
We're going to hash out in front of not a live studio audience, but an audience.
Yeah. Okay, so the night was June 9th, 2023.
Oh my God, it was June 9th.
We were in Orange County.
Yes.
Which already.
Yeah. You get it.
Cortisol is pumping through the veins.
Yes.
We all go to this restaurant called Javier's.
Fabulous place.
There's like a thing where if you wear white skinny jeans, it's kind of like a way to signal that you're a swinger. Or like, it's a way to, there's like all these things that kind of go down at this Javier's.
I also think we need to define Javier's for the folks on the East Coast, because I didn't have a Javier's growing up.
It's like rich Mexican food where.
Chain.
Yeah.
But like one in LA, one in Newport or Orange County.
It's beachside. It has like tall vaulted ceilings and like.
It's vibey.
Weirdly bohemian light fixtures.
Yeah.
And.
It's very Housewives setting.
It's so Housewives.
Yeah.
It's dimly lit.
Yeah.
The menus are like also a little sticky, which kind of throws you off guard.
Yeah, and of course it's expensive too.
Yeah, the quote guac is like $30.
I hate that.
Insane word.
I hate the word guac.
But guacamole.
I hate guacamole. I hate that. I can't believe I just said that on national television.
Okay. So anyway, we go to dinner. First of all, we had to wait 45 minutes after we had made a reservation.
Yes.
I am a
huge
graceful,
pet peeve for you.
Kind, grounded, I'll breastfeed the lay person.
Yes.
When I have to wait 45 minutes on something that I have already planned.
Months in advance.
Yeah. I get a little hot.
Yeah.
I get a little hot. I don't get loud.
No.
I don't get rude. I get terse.
Yeah, I was going to say stern, but I guess terse
Stern.
and stern are the same thing.
And
in
you can see
ways.
me kind of dissociate a little bit, and I'm like biting my lip. I'm a little antsy.
And you do this thing where
Oh,
you
God.
hold, like if you're carrying a bag, a purse. I hate that word purse for some reason. Purse. You put it in front of you and you're like waiting.
Yeah, kind of like kind of swaying side to side.
Yeah.
Somebody say I'm having an out of body experience.
Kind of, yeah, but it's not like when I know that you're having anxiety.
Sure.
It's more of like that I know when you are terse, as you said.
You know I'm having anxiety because my eyes get big, right?
Eyes get big and you go relatively silent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, my eyes go big, so when I get anxious, eyes are big. I also bite my lip. I'm also doing that when I get really invested into a conversation.
Oh.
I think I'm just keeping people on their toes.
Well, that's really fucked up because I've never seen you bite your lip during
Well.
during me talking.
Okay.
So, okay. Vibes. Yeah, got it.
Well,
Noted.
anyway, we're at this restaurant.
Yes,
we
we're at
get
Javier's.
seated. Obviously, where they fucking throw the trash. We are the trash.
Yeah.
And at this point, we're seated. We're having a good time. We're munching. We're drinking. We're gabbing. We're giggling.
Yeah.
There is a table next to us, and there are two gorgeous women, and I think they're dates.
Yeah, I forgot.
This is what started it all.
Yes.
And I asked, well, to start with, I go, oh my God, which one do you think is prettier? Or like, which one are you more attracted to?
Yeah, they were both two gorgeous women.
So then we start getting into that. And then I was telling Erica and Jake, I was like, honestly, sometimes I'm attracted to Jake. Like, you will put on certain fits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, uh-oh.
Don't judge this fit right now, but yeah, totally.
Yeah, you put on a dickie and a
I'll
boot.
give a little look.
I'm
I'll
like,
give a little
oh.
straight look.
So then I ask Jake, I'm like, are there ever times where you're attracted to us? And you said yes.
Yes,
I
did
was
say yes.
I was shocked.
Yes.
Mind you, you're a golden gay.
I am. It's called a gold star.
You're a 10 on the Kinsey scale. Or does it go up to
You
9
can hear the
or
voice.
6?
I mean, I think it goes up to like 6.
You're
but
a 10
I'm a 10
nonetheless.
on any sort of gay queer scale.
So it's a surprise to me that you would be attracted to us.
Yes.
Okay. So then, at this point, I'm going to give a little bit of context. My whole life, people have thought I'm gay, which is honestly kind of slay.
Work.
Women have always hit on me. I am flattered. Candidly, I think my personality would go really well with dating a woman. I've tried it. It was wonderful.
Yes.
It's also not my cup of tea.
Yeah, and that's fine.
So that's kind of the context of this conversation. Also, I would love to be gay. There's nothing wrong with being gay.
No.
And I am who I am. And people should just accept that for what it is.
Totally.
Could I see myself when I'm 60 divorcing my husband and then fucking the Costa Rican yoga instructor?
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah. We all could.
We all could.
Yeah.
So at this point, we get into this whole argument about the woman I experimented with and like if I was attracted to her. I end up snapping at Jake because you said something. I'm like, you always think I'm gay, or like you always think I'm blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Mind you, to even talk about this fight, my butthole is so tight. This is so cringy.
It was such an awkward fight. It was such an awkward fight.
None of it was good.
Yeah.
I think we were all going through something. At this point, mind you, Jake and I are very blunt with each other.
Yeah.
So we're kind of used to not being rude, but like we're very quick. Granted, did I come at you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. At this point, my sister,
Love.
who is so non-confrontational, literally, this is a real story. Someone broke into her home once, and her genuine reaction was, hey, man, you got to get out of here.
I did not know that.
Yes. You could throw a pillow.
When was that?
Years ago in Seattle.
In Seattle?
Yes.
Okay.
So at this point, Erica sees red.
Yeah.
And she is coming for me.
Yeah.
Don't fucking talk to Jake that way. Like, you're being so mean.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just trying to say who I am. Like, why are you thinking that I'm one way when I'm not? Like, you're... And she was like, trying to tell me who I am. At this point, we are arguing about nothing.
Literally nothing.
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 And what we come to realize, what the whole fight was about...
I love this word.
...was semantics.
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 Semantics. Yeah.
And I need to hear what people think.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between saying someone is attractive and being attracted to someone? My opinion is if you think someone is attractive, they're beautiful, they're gorgeous, they're objectively good looking. If you're attracted to someone, you're sexually drawn, there's like a pull. I am not attracted to women. I think they are stunning.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Now, you and my sister thought it was the same word.
And I think, like, totally. We definitely did. It comes down to semantics. And I think that I'm like, I only hang out with hot people.
Correct.
Like, I literally only hang out with hot people. So shout out all my friends who are in the friend zeitgeist. Like, I love the word zeitgeist. Zeitgeist. So I was just like, yeah, of course I'm attracted to my friends. Like, they're hot. Duh.
Sure. But you're not attracted to women.
No. Except I do love...
You love a big titty blonde.
I love a big titty blonde.
And especially when their tits are up against the glass in the shower.
Yes, which I learned from my other favorite podcast, Seek Treatment. But yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm crying in Javier's.
Yeah.
I'm shedding a tear, mouthful.
Yeah.
So at this point, I excuse myself. I go to the restroom.
Yeah.
What do I do in the restroom? I take a shit.
Do you really?
I took a dumperoo. I also...
Was it a one-ply toilet paper situation?
Probably. My finger probably went right through. It was horrible. So at this point, I have fought, cried, and shit inside of this restaurant. It was time to go. But I'll be honest, it got to a point where I really thought we weren't going to come back.
Well, same. I thought, because I had driven to your house, I thought that I was probably going to drive back with Erica. Erica was going to drop me off, and I was going to drive back to LA.
Sure.
That night, and I was going to leave essentially all my stuff at your place, which it wasn't a lot, but yes.
It wasn't good. But we came back from it.
But the power of friendship is being able to work through things right then and there.
And we do that.
You
are honestly great practice for when I meet the LOML, love of my life.
Same.
Because if we feel like something is slightly off, we deal with it immediately.
Yeah.
Famously, you thought I was mad at you. On the couch, you go, I'm not going to leave until we figure this out. I'm not going to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, we can't let it fester.
Yeah.
But there was one time.
Yeah.
Where you and I, we couldn't deal.
Yeah,
we weren't mad at each other.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
But something, usually we have a good balance. Like, if you're going through something, I'll make space for you. If I'm going through, we have a good push and pull.
Yeah.
This particular night.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
We both...
Let me have a sip of my drink. Everyone, this is tequila. This is a cocktail made by Mrs. Emily Petros.
I made it to kill you. It's half the cup is... Also,
are we allowed to show other sponsors? Maybe we're not allowed to show...
I mean, shout out to Hulu.
Yeah, shout out to Hulu.
I don't know.
Sponsor.
I know, please.
Sponsor Emily.
Shout out to Leisure.
Yes, shout out. Oh
shout out to Leisure.
Leisure.
Hydration, ePetros 10 for 10% off.
Yes.
Okay. So at this point, and I'm going to tell this story quickly because we're so deep in this. Basically, I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once in IMAX. Now, for those of you that A, haven't seen that movie, or B, haven't seen a movie in IMAX, it's one of the most aggressive movies to see in IMAX.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful movie, but my nervous system couldn't deal.
Yeah.
Could not deal. I was so outside of my body. Cut to, I end up having a full-blown anxiety attack alone in the Century City Mall parking lot because of that fucking movie. So I call you, you're not answering, whatever. I get home. We end up connecting. I'm going to let you just give a little blip of what you had done that night. However diplomatically you want to put it.
Okay, so I knew this question was coming, but it makes me so nervous.
Do you want me to say a nice way of saying it?
No, I can. A part of growth is being able to admit things and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had just slept with an ex.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time in a while. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, family in New York.
It bubbled up some feelings.
And it bubbled up some feelings.
Sure. So we are now, I'm post-anxiety attack.
Yes.
You are unwell.
I wish we could show the photo that we took that night.
I may put it up in the video.
Yeah.
You can see, Jake
I
ends up
hadn't
coming
eaten,
over.
which is not
You're
me,
eating
yeah.
like space food
I'm
in my
eating
apartment.
space food,
It was
yeah.
like these weird chicken nuggets that
Yeah,
were like white. Nothing
yeah,
was good.
no.
You didn't even dip it in any sauce. It was just a dry
it was
nugget.
dry. Yeah.
We're like, let's have a sleepover and just comfort each other.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go to bed. You're click, clack, clack, click, clack, clack on your little laptop.
Yeah.
And I roll over. I'm like, I think you need to. Mind you, at this point, we lived in the same building.
Yeah, we did.
And I told you, I think you got to go home.
Yeah.
And I kicked you out.
Which was honestly really triggering because I just wanted to really be, not by myself. I think it's weird as I've, gotten older and almost my mid 30s, I have realized that when I'm having high moments of anxiety, I actually have to be around people instead of not being around people.
And I need to be alone.
And you need to be alone.
And so in that moment, we couldn't.
Yeah, we just couldn't.
No.
We literally just couldn't.
Just couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, are you at liberty to tell a dating story that's just salacious? I have some in mind, but some might be career ending, so I want you to tell one that you...
I mean, honestly, what career? But
Gay assistant.
Gay assistant life. But I kind of want to hear... I'm kind of intrigued by the stories you're thinking of. I know we touched on...
So there's one in Miami, or there's one in Florida.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that one. Nope. That's for the after show. That's for the after show.
Oh my God, I want
That's
to
for the
so
after show. That's for the after show. No, we're not talking about that one.
Okay, can you do the one in Paris?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I had met this guy in LA, and we both happened to be in Paris at the same time for work. And we reconnected when he, was in Europe and I was in Paris, and he was going to come. He essentially was flying from Spain to Paris to see me. And it was my first time in Paris, and he had been to Paris a million times, and I was like, this is going to be the best time ever.
A whirlwind romance.
A whirlwind romance.
Right,
something dreams are made of. I'm going to be, scooting around the 8th arrondissement.
Oh, come on.
On the back of a moped or whatever, and having this romantic weekend with this guy.
Instead,
for starters, he showed up really drunk. And then the next morning I woke up and he had shit the bed. So
bad, right? There was dookie on the sheets.
Yeah, it just he had shit the bed. And listen, when it comes to the homosexual lifestyle, accidents happen 100%.
But also, you guys have gone to dinner. It was an awful dinner. You went to drink.
Split dinner.
Yeah.
He did not pay for me at
bad.
dinner.
He
We were
was
at that
being
restaurant at the
rude.
Louvre. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he shits the bed.
Yeah.
And then did you say something where
I probably said something really crazy.
you asked me, we need to change the sheets. And he's like, no, I'll just sleep on this side. Or did you say
something like that. And we'll get the hotel staff to change the sheets. And I'm like...
First of all, you were staying there for a few more days, so then you had to lock eyes with this boutique hotel
and
owner.
I had made friends with them. I was in Paris for work. I'd been there for, probably 2 weeks. And towards the end of my tenure, whatever, there, that had happened. And after I'd already made friends with the front desk.
They got to go clean your dookie sheets.
Yeah.
That's harrowing.
Yeah. Well, and also all hotel rooms are very small in Paris, which unless, you can afford the really big ones.
They know
And-
their guests.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
Shout out Paris.
Oof.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know, crazy shit.
So, do you think Jesus was gay?
I've never thought of that, nor do honestly I know anything about.
He's kind of homoerotic.
I think he's really sexy. Well, you also know I feel like this is the segue into me talking about how I thought Jesus was God and the Bob.
Okay, well, technically Jesus like is God.
Kind of, but
It's
also
like
kind
the-
of not.
So Jake is Jewish, and
Yeah.
he would always see.
So basically, long story short, I grew up. My dad's Jewish, mom's Catholic, but I went to a very reformed temple, and I was bar mitzvahed and like all those things. So I primarily was raised amongst the Jewish faith. And then, but on Sundays, whenever I'd sleep over at my grandma's house, shout out grandma, I would sometimes go to church with her and my brother, shout out brother.
Okay.
And so I would see this man on the cross, hung on the cross, behind the stage or whatever that platform
His
is
dick
called.
is just covered by like a thin piece of cloth.
Yeah, a Catholic stage, yeah. And so I just kind of like, I don't know why, but I just kind of thought that Jesus was God and like God looked like Jesus.
But some people do. I don't honestly. I don't know.
get it.
It's like the Holy Trinity. It's the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. But the way that you tried to tell me, you're like,
Yeah.
the guy in the bob.
The guy with the bob. Yeah, the guy with the bob.
LOL.
Yeah, the guy with the bob.
But I mean, if we're really getting down to quote brass tacks,
Yeah.
he kind of has a bob,
He does have a bob. Well, it kind of, I think,
which kind of makes me think
depends
even
on-
more he might be gay.
It kind of depends on like, he like saw Chaz Dean, the salon Chaz Dean and WeHo, and like got a bob with layers.
I have literally not a clue what you just
That's
said.
for the community.
Okay.
I think like depending on what this, I hate this word, what parish you're a part of.
His
each
haircut kind of.
parish has a different version
Sure.
of Jesus.
Sure.
And that Jesus has different lengths of hair. So
Hmm.
it goes from like a Victoria Beckham bob from like 2008 to, something you can put up into a bun. And then something with layers, something with highlights.
Right.
Something with an Olaplex treatment.
Right.
Something.
Well, then you have Asian Jesus, you have Black Jesus.
Yeah.
He transcends time, cultures,
Yes.
haircuts.
All of that.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
I always thought there was some. I mean, it's just like a bunch of men in like breezy linen muumuus following him
to
around.
be honest, there's like kind of something sexy about him with being sweaty and like
Yeah.
skinny,
Yeah.
very skinny, which is my type. And
Sure.
this like hair and like
He died for you.
he
Ugh,
died for me.
That's so romantic.
yeah. I'm like, okay, hot.
I can't even get a guy to pay for the bill, let alone a guy
literally.
who gets nailed to the cross for you.
Yeah, literally.
Set your bar high.
It's crazy. Yeah.
We are still trying to find. Our dream is to marry brothers.
Yes. Or cousins.
Or
But
cousins.
brothers. Yeah.
Second cousins.
Yeah.
That is the dream, though. So if any of you know any brothers, one gay, one straight,
Yeah.
let us know.
Send our way. Even
Yes.
like best friends who, childhood best friends who are still best friends.
Right.
And, like
Right.
call themselves brothers.
Oh, dream.
So hot.
Okay, so I end each episode with the same question.
I'm so upset we're ending this episode.
We're zip zap zopping.
Yeah.
What do you wish more people understood about you? Just in general, it can
That's
be.
such a loaded question
I know.
these days.
I know.
What do I wish people? Oh my God. To be honest, like, what do you think I should say?
I was going to say, I have something in mind.
What would you say?
I feel like because you are so funny and performative and you have a thick skin to the outside world,
Yeah.
people think they can really push your boundaries
Yeah.
and maybe say some zingers to you that actually are mean.
Yeah.
And I do think that having gotten to know you, you are the most empathetic, loving, kind. You show up at my door when I need you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish people were a little bit softer with you sometimes.
I also think people were quite, or I wish people were a little more, or they made space for me being like sensitive, which honestly like isn't a bad thing these days, like at all. I am quite sensitive, which that's not a bad thing at all. And I wish people probably understood and knew that more and knew that behind this performative facade of mine
Yeah,
that
you're a
I'm
little
also
softy.
quite sensitive. And so, yeah.
Yeah, we're a fun duo.
Yeah.
Well, I love you.
Love.
Ready, zip.
Zap.
Zop.
Zip.
Zap.
Zop.
Love.
Love.